Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm your name, and today we're diving deep into After Ever Happy, the fourth movie in the After franchise, which continues the emotional roller coaster that is the relationship between Tessa and Hardin. We're going to break down every major plot point, explore the character arcs, and discuss all the big moments from this intense, drama-filled movie. If you're a fan of the series, stick around because we're covering it all, the good, the messy, and the heartbreaking. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our future movie breakdowns. Alright, let's jump in. For those who might need a refresher, After Ever Happy is the fourth chapter in the After saga, based on the book series by Anna Todd. The story follows Tessa Young, a driven, ambitious college student, and Hardin Scott, the brooding, complicated guy she can't quit. Throughout the series, Tessa and Hardin have gone through a lot: betrayal, heartbreak, and plenty of emotional roller coasters, and in After Ever Happy, we're finally seeing the consequences of all those actions. The previous movies set up a toxic, passionate relationship between the two, one full of love, mistakes, and deep emotional scars. In After Ever Happy, we're getting a glimpse into whether they can finally break free from the dysfunction, or if they'll continue to hurt each other. There's also a huge focus on their personal growth, so it's not just about their relationship anymore, it's about what it means to truly heal and grow. Right from the start, we're thrown into the aftermath of Hardin's emotional outburst in After We Fell. Tessa and Hardin are in a very rocky place, and After Ever Happy picks up with them trying to figure out where they go from here. Tessa is just getting out of a very painful situation with Hardin, and she's starting to realize that she can't keep living for him. The tension between them is palpable as they try to figure out if they can actually survive together or if they're too broken to make it work. But before we get too deep into their relationship struggles, we also learn that both characters are dealing with a lot of unresolved family trauma. Hardin's struggles with his father and his past still haunt him, while Tessa's relationship with her mother is severely strained. After Ever Happy isn't just about their love story, it's about confronting the emotional scars they've carried for so long. One of the first major moments in the film is when Tessa decides to take control of her own life. She's been living in Hardin's shadow for so long, but now, she begins to realize that she needs to focus on herself. It's a huge moment of growth for her, and it sets the tone for the rest of the movie. As the movie progresses, the conflict intensifies. Tessa and Hardin are still undeniably drawn to each other, but the weight of their past mistakes is starting to crush them. Hardin's anger issues are as prevalent as ever, and Tessa is increasingly fed up with the toxic cycle they're stuck in. There's a lot of emotional back and forth, with Hardin constantly pushing Tessa away, only to pull her back in when he feels vulnerable. But this time, Tessa is not taking the bait. She stands her ground, despite the pressure from Hardin to give him another chance. The stakes get higher when Tessa faces a big career opportunity that could take her far away from Hardin. This is a moment where she's forced to choose between her own future and staying stuck in this complicated relationship. Meanwhile, Hardin is dealing with some serious family drama. His strained relationship with his father, along with the guilt he feels over his past actions, begins to surface in a major way. It's clear that Hardin needs to do some deep emotional work, but the question is whether he's capable of it. As we see, the journey is not linear, it's filled with setbacks, emotional breakdowns, and moments of self-doubt. One of the most powerful parts of After Ever Happy is the exploration of Hardin's relationship with his father, Christian Vance. We learn that Hardin has spent most of his life carrying the emotional weight of his father's rejection and the pain of not feeling loved or accepted. His anger issues, his impulsive behavior, and his insecurities all stem from this fractured relationship. There's a heartbreaking scene where Hardin confronts his father, and for the first time, we see him vulnerable. It's an emotional turning point for Hardin, and we get a glimpse of the man he could become if he's able to heal from his past. However, This is not an easy road, and we can see just how deeply his father's abandonment has affected him. At the same time, Tessa is also grappling with her own family issues. Her strained relationship with her mother is brought to light, and we learn more about Tessa's background. She's had her own fair share of emotional scars, and the way her mother treated her has had a lasting impact on her sense of self-worth. It's clear that both characters are dealing with deep-rooted trauma, and it's no wonder their relationship has been so toxic. As we reach the climax of After Ever Happy, things come to a head. Hardin realizes he needs to change, but he doesn't know if he can. Tessa, on the other hand, has learned to stand up for herself and is not going to let Hardin pull her down again. Their final confrontation is one of the most emotional moments of the movie, and it forces both of them to face their deepest fears and regrets. I won't spoil the ending, but let's just say it's not the typical fairy tale conclusion we've come to expect from some romantic movies. Instead, it's a bittersweet ending that leaves room for both Tessa and Hardin to grow separately. It's about healing, forgiveness, and finding peace within themselves. So, let's talk about the themes of After Ever Happy. At its core, this movie is about healing. Both Tessa and Hardin have been broken by their pasts, and throughout the film, they have to face the trauma they've carried for so long. This is especially true for Hardin, whose growth arc is one of the most compelling parts of the story. Another big theme is forgiveness, not just forgiving others, but also forgiving yourself. Tessa and Hardin both make mistakes, but in the end, they have to learn that they are worthy of love and happiness, even if they're not perfect. I think one of the most powerful messages in this movie is that relationships can't fix everything. Sometimes, people need to grow on their own before they can truly be ready for love. It's not about finding someone who completes you, it's about becoming whole yourself first. So, After Ever Happy wraps up Tessa and Hardin's story in a way that feels both realistic and heartfelt. It's not a fairy tale ending, but it's a fitting conclusion to their tumultuous journey. The film's emphasis on personal growth, healing, and self-empowerment is a perfect way to bring the series to a close. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What did you think of the movie? Do you think Tessa and Hardin can truly heal, or was their love too toxic to survive? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.